I met a stranger in Sky. We never spoke. No voice chat, no text, and somehow it still felt meaningful. That's not an accident. Sky is designed to create companionship without ever letting players talk. So how does it do that? Most multiplayer games try to create connection by adding features. Voice chat, text chat, guilds, parties. Sky does the opposite. The key idea is this. Sky does not design the game for traditional communication. The design creates reasons for players to connect and achieve them through in-game actions. And everything in the game is built around that. In Sky, your main resource is light. It powers movement, exploration, progression, and social interaction. When you first meet someone, they're just a glowing silhouette. No name, no identity. This removes any judgment and expectation that you might have from another player. You're not thinking, who is this player, when you meet someone in Sky. You are thinking, can we become friends? Can we play together? So you walk up to them and you hold out a candle of light. When you share your light with another player, you help them recharge their own light. So light is doing two things at once here. It is a resource system, and it is a social interaction. When you help someone recharge, you're not just being nice, you're participating in their journey. That creates a subtle bond. It says, I'm helping you move forward in this world. The first time you share your light with someone, you also get the option to become friends. If both players accept, you can give that friend a name. That name is how you recognize your friendship in the game. Now this friendship can go even deeper. In most games, all the progression is about you, the player, your skills, your upgrades. In Sky, that progression is also tied to your relationships. Every player you befriend has their own progression tree. As you invest in that connection, you unlock new interactions and new ways to engage with each other. So you're not just upgrading yourself, you're upgrading a bond. And that creates a really interesting loop. The more you connect with someone, the more tools you unlock, the more meaningful the interactions you have, which further leads to stronger connections. In Sky, companionship isn't just part of the experience, it is part of the progression system. When you become friends with someone in Sky, you unlock one of the simplest mechanics in the game, holding hands. When you hold hands, one player leads and the other follows. Both players are effectively answering the same question. What are we doing together right now? You are literally giving away control to someone else, which goes against the usual design instinct of maximizing player agency. But here, it works. And it works because it creates something rare in multiplayer games. It builds trust. You know the other player cannot harm you. The game does not allow that. So whatever is going to happen next has a very good chance of feeling safe, surprising, or exciting. If the other player guides you well, you feel safe. If they wander, you feel that too. And if you want your agency back, you can simply let go. The feeling of trust and shared experiences that builds a bond cannot be defined by a progression tree. That idea also carries into exploration. There are areas in the game where multiple players need to come together to open doors and access new spaces. So exploration is not just tied to movement or curiosity, it is also tied to social cooperation. The game keeps reinforcing the same idea. You can do more in this game with friends than alone. And even when you're alone, you're not really alone. Sky lets you experience memories and shared spaces left behind by other players. These are people you may have never met, but they still become part of your journey. You experience their past in this world. You experience their creativity. This creates a different kind of multiplayer experience. Not just shared space, but shared time. You feel like you're part of something ongoing, like others were here before you. This is what makes the game design in Sky so powerful. Most games treat social systems as optional features, layered on top of the existing game, and rely on traditional communication methods. Sky does the opposite. It makes connection the core driver of progression and builds everything around that. Everything works towards a shared goal, building connections with other players through anonymous shared interactions. It does not ask how or when do players talk to each other. It asks, why do players need to connect with each other? And then it provides in-game anonymous ways for that connection to happen. And that is why a silent interaction in Sky can feel more meaningful than a fully voiced conversation in other games. Because the connection in Sky is not spoken. It is simply played.